Serving Amherst and Amherst Township, your hometown television station, Amherst City Cable.
Northeast Ohio. Welcome to the sports show. I am Ty House, along with my co-host,
Alex Squares. What's up, Ty?
What's going on, man?
It's been a while.
Happy 2015.
And to you, we've done it since then. I think. I don't know.
It's
been a while.
We haven't been around since the New England Patriots were crowned Super Bowl champions.
We haven't. We haven't.
So, congratulations to the New England Patriots,
absolutely,
Super Bowl champions.
Absolutely.
We have also missed
well deserved.
The NFL combines.
Yeah.
What else did we miss? Nothing really.
I mean, we missed
NBA All-Star.
Yeah, the All-Star weekend we missed, which was fun. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. It was all right.
I won some money on that.
You did?
On the dunk contest.
Oh, you had
I had Zach LaVine. Yep.
Zach LaVine. Mm-hmm. He had flight.
That kid can fly. Yep.
Yeah.
I saw all the social media gifs I needed to see to know that he was gonna win it. That guy.
Oh yeah, the memes are crazy.
That guy got up.
Speaking of the All-Star break, this was a different All-Star break due to the fact that the players got a full week off.
Yeah. They got like that.
Something never done before. Mm-hmm. And I think this was all at the request of King James.
I mean, he seems to get just. See, that's a big part of my problem with LeBron. I know you're a big LeBron fan. I love him too. I like him. Thank God he's on our team, or else we wouldn't be any good. But he just he thinks he's bigger than the game itself, and to a degree, he kind of is. But I still have a problem with that. I mean, I didn't mean to get into this whole thing about it, but
he's royalty.
I guess.
I mean, he's NBA royalty.
He's just another dude in the league, but whatever,
He's 4-time MVP.
I know.
Possibly the 5-time
I know
MVP.
He's really good.
Two-time NBA champion.
You think he's gonna win this year?
He's been in the league 10 years?
Yeah.
11 years?
Yeah.
He's played in 5 NBA finals.
Yeah.
So I mean, half the time he's been in the NBA finals.
I know.
It's NBA royalty.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Good player. Great player.
Great player.
Best player that we've seen in a long time.
Since Kobe.
Since Kobe in his prime. Mm-hmm. But still, man, just, be a person.
The league is full of a lot of great players right now because, like you said, when I said LeBron for MVP, maybe possibly a 5-time MVP. It was like, you really think he could get it?
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a lot of stiff competition out there.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
got Curry. You got Harden.
That's what I'm saying. It's not just Kevin Durant either anymore,
Who?
Exactly.
Ain't that last year's MVP?
Yeah.
And you're like, who?
Yeah, right.
I want to speak
Harden,
on that too.
Curry,
I want to speak on Durant. Speaking of Westbrook, I want to speak on Durant. Isn't it interesting how he'll be a free agent and it's a big push to get him home to Maryland and how he's been injured this year and it's like, we really don't need you.
That's fair. Didn't think about that. I really hadn't thought about it. That would actually make some sense.
We have Westbrook. I mean, and Westbrook has proven this year, as long as he's healthy, which might be his problem, he seems to, the way he plays.
That has a lot to do with how he plays.
Rose is like, you're prone to injury when you go so hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Speaking of, that's something else we missed while we were gone. Derrick Rose's injury, which is not as serious as everybody thought. He'll be back for time for the playoff. We don't know if he'll be 100%, but he'll be back.
Yeah.
He had to have surgery on his meniscus. So much to get caught up on. Let's get into these power rankings.
That same meniscus, I'm pretty sure they just took it out this time. They wiped it out.
I mean, see, when you have it repaired and it grow back together, you're going to have a second surgery to go back in and get the trimmings off.
Yeah.
That's getting caught. Because the part that got caught is the meat that's in between
the two bones. Yeah.
So when they had the surgery, the little where the stitches and stuff was at, it's still sticking out. And when it pinches and it's painful. So they just trim that off take a couple weeks to heal up.
Is that what they
then-
did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Because
they did.
I had heard some talk that they might just take it out.
And, oh my goodness,
You know?
he really don't want him to take it out.
Right. I mean, he would have still been able to play, but with not near the amount of
Oh,
explosion.
his
Is that for real?
his future.
Oh, get
his future.
real. Get real with
As
that.
of 14 hours ago.
See that? I have a problem with that.
This week's power rankings. Still at number 1, as they were last week. Nothing has changed over the past for the top 3 anyway.
I have no problem with number 1 or number 3.
You have a problem with number 2?
Yeah.
Why?
You buy them?
They're 47 and 12.
Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Rattle them off.
Let's top 5 for now.
Mm-hmm.
We got Golden State 1, Atlanta number 2, Memphis number 3, Houston 4,
Yeah.
Cleveland 5.
I don't mind the Grizzlies at 3. I don't mind Houston at 4. But I could easily flip flop Atlanta and the Cleveland Cavaliers from 2 to 5. I mean, I know you're probably gonna get really mad, but the Atlanta Hawks, I love what they're doing. It's hard not to. The way they play, all the assists that they get, the way they play team basketball, you don't see it anymore in the NBA. You know, you see so much high pick and roll, drive and kick. You know, that's all anybody does anymore, and they do it a different way, and they've been successful. But do you really buy them in the playoffs? That's the question.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say. The team that they have in Atlanta is not a young team. This
No.
team has been playoff bound the past 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
You're not going to surprise them in the playoffs.
That's fair.
And when they were in the playoffs, they ran up against teams like the Bulls,
Yeah.
Miami. You know what I'm saying? They were put out by the eventual champions. So I think the core of this team, Jeff Teague, Kyle Culver, Al Horford,
Horford.
you know, Millsap.
Millsap.
You know what I'm saying? Those core, along with that bench that comes in and give you so much energy, and the culture, you might as well say they got Pops over there. You know what I'm saying?
Well-
Almost. Almost. We ain't gonna say you got Pops over there. That would be a stretch. But you got Pops' little brother over there.
I mean, you take away the countless. I mean, I guess you could count them. I don't know how many there are, but the countless playoff games that Popovich has actually coached in, that's a big deal. But Atlanta, you know, Atlanta was in the playoffs a lot for a stretch there when they still had Horford. That game or that team was composed. I think that was the team with Horford and Josh Smith and Joe Johnson. You know, they were in the playoffs every year. But they can never do anything.
Right.
I understand this is a completely different team. They're
completely different team.
winning in a completely different way.
They're a defensive team first.
They do play very good defense and they move the ball well. Those are two really, really big keys in playing winning basketball. But it's just the NBA these days, like it's such like a celebrity-laden, star-powered league, and they don't have a star. They don't have a guy that when you know the chips are down in a playoffs game that can say, "I'll take over from here." You know, they
do. If you watch Atlanta, Jeff Teague is that guy.
Jeff Teague is a nice player.
He is
real
that
nice
guy.
player.
They had 4 guys in the All-Star team.
They did. Did Corver make it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because he was shooting. Last I saw, he was shooting 50 and 90. You know, which you don't see anymore. And that, you know, he's got to be on the All-Star team. The way he comes off screens and seemingly doesn't, you know, he makes 1 out of every 2 3-pointers he makes statistically. That's you don't just see that every day. But seriously, man, it's really hard for me, you know, to buy into, and especially I don't want to put him at number 2 in the league.
Well, I mean, okay, when you say it's hard for you to do that, it's hard for me to put 37 and 24 ahead of 47 and 12.
It's a completely different team.
It's hard for me, and then on top of that, you may get your wish. Because come next week when we talk about this, it may be flip-flop because they collide
they're playing,
Friday.
right? Yeah.
You know, and Atlanta has won the last 2 games against Cleveland.
Yes, they have.
Decisively. Mm-hmm. Last time I remember something like a 30, 35-point blowout.
Again, and I've made this abundantly clear on this show to you. I'm no Cleveland sports homer. I hardly consider myself a Cleveland fan. So I don't get the wool pulled over my eyes, and I don't get jaded with these kind of things and think just because it's my team that they're going to win. But I really, really think that this Cavs team, I feel better about this team than I felt about any of the previous LeBron James-led Cavaliers teams.
This is a good team.
Absolutely, it is. Just because J.R. Smith is worrying me a bit because he's just playing too good right now. Like the J.R. Smith that we all know and knew in the past, he's got a lot of talent, but he's just a mess when it comes to shot selection and stuff like that. He'll chuck up anything, but he's making good decisions and he's making shots consistently. The only thing that scares me is that that's not going to last very much longer.
I am a LeBron fan. I am not a Cleveland Cavalier fan, but I am a LeBron fan. I'm an NBA fan, so I like a lot of teams in the NBA.
Right.
That I could say, I like to watch them. I would pay money to go see them play.
Right.
I'm a Detroit Piston fan first and foremost. But I'm not going to let this show end with giving LeBron a pass on stepping to the line the other day down 1 point.
Thank you.
With 1.1 second left in the game, and you missed 2 free throws, and you're a 4-time MVP. You're a 4-time MVP, man. You got 2 NBA rings, man. You missed 2 free throws, bro? Really? Really, guy? Really?
Not to mention the 7 previous ones that he missed.
That's why I want to say Kyrie Irving needs to be mentioned in this MVP race.
Wow.
We got to take a break.
You heard it here first, folks.
We're going to keep this NBA discussion going when we come back. We got a couple of, try to get a little NCAA, but this NBA conversation is kind of deep right about now.
It's rolling.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break and come back, talk a little bit more NBA. This is the Sports Show.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back to the Sports Show. We're going to keep talking NBA here because we only got to the top 5 of the power rankings. We didn't even mention teams.
Hang on.
It was one team that I wanted to speak on in the top 5 in particular. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I wasn't done with that whole LeBron talk, honestly.
Okay. Go ahead.
Real quick, I understand what you're saying about Kyrie. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA. He's sensational.
Meaning he should be MVP worthy.
I don't disagree with that. I think he's as important to this team as LeBron. Honestly, I truly do. Maybe not when it comes to the playoffs and playoff experience, but I think he's just as important as far as.
LeBron doesn't come back to Cleveland if not for Kyrie.
Well, do you think that Kyrie re-signs with Cleveland if it wasn't for LeBron coming back? Like, which one came first?
Kyrie signed with Cleveland before LeBron decided to come back.
Yeah, but did LeBron tell Kyrie that he was going to come back?
I mean, $94 million.
$94 million is $94 million any way you look at it.
Hey, I'm going to sign for $94 million, and it's only 5, and I'm still young. I could do this get this $100 million from y'all and then leave and go somewhere and still win championships. And then LeBron fell in their lap. You know what I'm saying?
Just real quick, before you get to things, what I wanted to say is that the past 3 years, LeBron James' free throw percentage has declined. Each year, the past 3 years, it's declined. Every other facet in his game has gotten better. And that his three-point percentage is up, his field goal percentage is up. Statistically, he's been getting better each and every year. If we have a technical free throw, why does LeBron shoot it?
I'm gonna give LeBron.
Why does LeBron? And LeBron, if there's a technical called, LeBron just sprints over the free throw line because
he's LeBron.
He's
royalty.
I understand. That's the problem I have.
But what make me say Kyrie for MVP? Going back to Sunday's game against Houston, LeBron had a chance to win the game at the end of regulation. It was a reason why he didn't take it to the hole. If you watch First Take and you didn't see any of the debates between Skip and Stephen A., you know that LeBron doesn't want to be at the free throw line at the end of the game. So at the end of that game, he pulled up and shot a long-range three over 2 defenders to avoid going to the hole. Now, at the end of the overtime, he decided to try to take it to the line, to the hole, even though he was already 3 of 9 from the free throw line going into overtime. So he drove, hoping to make the basket, didn't really get a good look at the basket, just threw something up, and then went to the free throw line and missed 2 free throws. And then, on top of that, fouls James Harden, who goes to the other end.
And he makes it with the foul. James Harden's a dog, though.
I'm saying that to say LeBron doesn't take that last shot if Kyrie is in that game. Same issues was in Miami. Who takes the last shot? Kyrie got that dog in him.
When the game's on the line, he absolutely does.
When the game on the line, when the game start, Kyrie goes. He goes.
Ty, I could not agree with you more. I really couldn't. And that is exactly what I'm talking about.
He is the MVP of his team.
Kyrie Irving should be taking that shot. But because, like you said, LeBron James thinks he's royalty, he's not going to let that happen.
Oh, no. It didn't happen several times this year.
I've seen it.
Several times this year.
I've seen it several times this year. But in a nationally televised game against the Rockets in the Sunday Showcase on ESPN, LeBron takes that stuff.
If Kyrie played, it's not. First of all, if Kyrie played, it's not that close. It's not no last-second shot.
That's fair.
But if it is a last-second shot,
if Dwight Howard played too,
let's just stop with Cleveland right there. Houston is the number 4 ranked team without Dwight Howard. He hasn't played all of 2015. They are 41-18.
Wait, he hasn't played a game?
No. Maybe 1 or 2 games.
Is he coming back?
Yes, soon. Maybe in the next couple of days.
He really hasn't played a game all season?
No.
Wow.
Not all season, all of 2015. Since January.
Okay.
So none since January. So they're almost 2 months.
Say they've still been rolling.
Going on 3 months without Dwight Howard. And they're 41-18 without Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
So what happens when you get a 6'11" cupcake coming back? Because he's not a
Right, not at all.
He's a cupcake, but he's big. He can
big.
play some defense. He can block some shots.
He'll rebound.
And I seen something on the internet about you, Dwight Howard. And if I ever get a chance, I guess I get a chance to speak to you now. Don't be doing what you did. Don't do it. We can't, this is not the format to talk about it, but don't do what you did no more.
Somebody remind me to ask what happened, because I'm very curious right now. My interest is peaked.
6 through 10, we got the Clippers.
But no, that team is still good because of James Harden. He's the MVP of this league right now.
Let me go back to number 1. Golden State Warriors.
They have a lot of really good talent on that team. A lot of talent on that team.
Did you see Sunday's game? While LeBron was missing free throws, Golden State was down 30 points to the Boston Celtics going into the 4th quarter.
They should have never been down that much to begin with.
Guess who led that comeback? Listen, hold on. Last night, they were in a game against the Brooklyn Nets, down 10. 2 minutes left in the game.
Why are they down?
They've been on the road the last 10 games.
Okay.
They've been on the road for 10 straight games.
Okay, I understand. Keep going.
This was the last game on the road.
I understand. Keep going. 9
straight points. Curry, they down 1. Curry man, I don't even understand how this dude is like. How do you?
We all watched him at Davidson. You watched him at Davidson.
No, man, this is not Davidson.
Listen.
This is a whole nother. This is the NBA.
We watched him at Davidson, and he was a scoring machine. But did anybody in their right mind think that his game was going to translate to the NBA level? I certainly didn't. I don't know too many people that did. Now, not only has he become one of the best young point guards in the league, he does everything. He shoots, he drives, he passes. He's in the MVP discussion. That in itself is amazing to me. But that team is chock full of talent. There are so many good players on that team. The rotation that Steve Kerr has in there
I'm gonna
is
let you
perfect.
keep on rambling. Go
He's-
ahead.
The rotation there is wonderful. What he does there, he does almost kind of like what John Calipari does, to where he has 2 units, to where the depth on that team is amazing.
They had 2 players on the All-Star team. They do not have depth on that team. They have 2 players.
How do they not have depth?
Are you saying that Bogut?
First of all, you know the
Are you talking Derek Lee? Are you talking Lee? Are you mentioning
talking
those 2?
Bogut,
I
who's-
hope you're not mentioning Iguodala.
I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about Bogut, who you look at the analytics
Let me
is
go back
the
to sleep.
single best. You're not even going to listen to me? You're not even going to listen. Look at the analytics. Bogut is the single best
You
defensive
said
center in the
analytics.
NBA.
I'm Charles Barkley.
Okay, well that's a problem right there, because Charles Barkley, even though he's funny,
He's a Hall of Famer.
we all
NBA
all
Hall of
love
Famer.
Charles Barkley. He's hilarious.
He's
the
an
show is great,
NBA
but
Hall
he's
of
flat
Famer.
out wrong, because
He's a-
analytics makes sense. And
He's an
when you look
NBA
at the way
Hall of-
that the team,
It
the
makes
leagues are
sense
going,
to people that didn't play the game.
Huh? Did you play the game?
Yes, I did, sir. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, sir. How you think I tore my ACL?
Okay.
Playing the game.
You play in the NBA.
Playing the game. That's what you said. The game.
How many mid-range
Playing the
shots
game.
did you like to take?
What? You want to go to the? We can go to the gym right after we leave here.
Mid-range
I
shots?
am healed. I put money on the line. Jumper, after jumper, after jumper. We
Okay,
could do it.
maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do that. Maybe. But still, Charles Barkley's wrong. The analytics do make sense.
To people who haven't played the game. That's what Charles Barkley said.
How many people have played the game that do believe in analytics?
Answer your question.
Several. Steve Kerr played the game. Ask him about analytics.
What would he say?
He would say it's the lifeblood of what they're driving that foundation by.
And I bet you he's the coach of the year too.
Yeah.
You just said he inherited a team that has super talent, and he is the coach of the year over Atlanta's coach, who you just said had no talent.
I never said they didn't have no talent.
They shouldn't be 2.
I don't think they should be 2, no.
Okay.
I have no problem with Golden State being 1, though. No problem with it.
Okay.
Where did this even start?
Let's start.
This whole conversation?
What conversation are we talking about?
About you.
We've been talking about the NBA the whole show, Alex.
No, the analytics stuff.
You brought up analytics when you went to talking
Oh,
about
so
how
Andrew
Golden
Bogut.
State is, how Andrew Bogut is the
best
center
defensive center in the NBA.
when he plays. See how your analytics just blew up in your face? When
They
he
didn't blow up
plays.
my
If
face.
you don't play, your analytics don't work.
Absolutely
so guess
not.
who analytics work for?
Absolutely
People
not.
who don't play the game.
Okay, that's completely different. When you're talking about health, those are 2 completely different issues.
Okay.
Obviously,
So if
you
you're
can't
not
help
healthy,
the team if you're hurt.
If you're not healthy,
obviously.
you can't help the team. So how many games has he missed this year? Derek Lee didn't even start playing until after the January.
No, he's
so how are
coming
they
off
helping the team?
the bench anyway, is he
how,
not?
How are they helping the team though?
By giving him quality minutes off the bench.
You got
There's not a clear
2
drop-off.
stars on that team.
2 stars, yes.
2 good role players. Draymond Green and the boy Harrison Barnes.
Those are good players.
Everybody else stands on the court, plays defense.
What's wrong with that?
That's it.
What's wrong with playing defense?
You called everybody. Let's move on. Let's go to 6.
There's all kinds of talent on that team.
What they do? They play defense.
They're the number 1 offensive team and the number 1 defensive team in the NBA.
Okay, so we're going to...
How are they not
So
talent?
instead of getting through the whole power ranking, we're going to stay at the top with Golden State. Let's go to Golden State. Let's look up all their statistics, and we're going to see that only there's 2 people on this team that's doing anything. Draymond Green is the leading rebound getter on a team that has Andrew Bogut. And you're saying Andrew Bogut, analytics. Come on, man.
Draymond Green's a potential defensive player of the year
Bogut
candidate, by the way.
is the number 1 draft pick in a draft. And he's a 7-footer.
15 years ago.
And he's a 7-footer. How is this guy that's 6'6" your leading rebounder? But you're talking analytics.
Rebounding isn't all about height. I mean, I know you know that. It's about hustle. It's about determination. It's about length. He does all of that very, very, very well.
Does any of that show up in analytics? Because you said Andrew Bogut.
I wasn't finished. Andrew Bogut. I wouldn't say anything about Draymond Green's analytics. I was talking about Andrew Bogut's.
So where would Draymond Green rank in your analytic thing list?
I don't know.
Would he be You said Andrew Bogut's number one.
He is.
So where would Draymond Green be in that list?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
That's analytics for you. I'm trying to pull up this thing here because I want to talk about Golden State.
All you can
stats.
say is that the mid-range shot is being phased out of the NBA, and there's a reason for it.
Man, if Curry hadn't hit a mid-range shot, if he would have went on and stepped back last night like he started to, game over. They wouldn't have lost to Brooklyn last night. But because he didn't step back and shot a mid-range, they lost by 1 point.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
See? What'd I say?
I love talking sports with Alex. Sometimes he don't make sense. Sometimes I don't make sense. But it's always fun talking sports with Alex.
I mean, I like the Memphis Grizzlies, too.
We didn't even talk Memphis Grizzlies. You were stuck on Andrew Bogut. Bogus. I'm keep pronouncing his name wrong. Andrew Bogus.
I like my Australian players, all right? I like it. I like it a lot.
You got the kind of... I got the Sherman Hemsley. You got the Andrew Bogut.
Sherman Hemsley, that's the guy from the Jeffersons. Everybody knows that.
You was Andrew Bogut.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing you ever said to me.
Look, Alex, next week we got to talk more than 5 teams.
I agree. I agree.
We didn't even mention the Thunder who haven't had Kevin Durant.
Yeah, weren't we going to talk? Wait, did that whole, when you said back to Maryland, you meant Boston?
No, Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, man, that makes sense. I was thinking Boston because of how they don't have anybody, but...
Look, we're getting wrapped up again.
All right, we get it.
We didn't talk about the Spurs. We didn't talk about Derrick Rose.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen.
We got to go, man. It's always, we'll be back next week. Sports Show. That's Alex Squares. I'm Ty House. Peace.
Our town, our TV. Amherst City Cable.